Hey guys, thanks again for joining us for part 3 of the Plan of Action online course. So excited to have you guys back here. Last course we covered establishing your core gears and creating alignment with your purpose. Setting expectations, as always. You guys know I'm going to be informal because I love to create bonds and connections. I know we're doing this over technology, over your video, but this is an opportunity for me to create a connection with you. So just a quick recap of last part 2. We went over core gears. All right, our core gears: 1, our passion; 2, what we can be the best at; and 3, economic value. Right? When you're thinking about passion, right? Passion is the things that help keep that fire ablaze. Right? So these are the things that you love to do on a daily basis. Right? Using myself as an example, as always. Right? My purpose is to be an advisor for world leaders. Right? Now, my passions are learning. Right? I keep telling you guys, I read so many books, I listen to so many podcasts, I learn from so many people. When I travel, I ask questions, I dive into cultures, and I learn. And through that, I'm able to teach. Another passion, I love to teach. So these passions are helping and preparing me to be that advisor for those world leaders in the future. What can I be the best at? I can be the best at getting people, countries, advisors, leaders, coaches from success to great, right? What is that one thing you can be the best at, right? Just because I'm an advisor doesn't mean I advise on everything. I'm picking the one thing I know I will be the best at, and I'm diving into that full force. Excuse me. Economic value. Take another sip of my tea here. Economic value. Right? What is the benefit that is realized by you and the person you're working with, right? Or the people around you. In every interaction with human beings or even yourself, there has to be an exchange of value. Okay? So what's the economic value you provide? And now aligning that with your purpose. Align those core gears with your purpose. All right, on to today's topic. Today we're looking at hitting the target, right? Now, you may have all these, you may have your purpose, you have your core gears that align to your purpose. So what? So what? Right? It means nothing if you're not on track. Your car, which is driving this way, should not be veering off path. And let me tell you what, it will. But when it does, self-correcting is the most important thing. But you need to know where you are. This is going to be a very short program today because it is pretty simple. Ask yourself very simple questions. Now, what I did was I helped you look at a larger goal, right? So if I'm driving from I'm in Dallas, Texas right now. If I'm driving from Dallas to let's say Lexington, Kentucky, where my wife went to college, right? Now, if I get to, let's say I'm driving and I get halfway, okay? Now, well, okay, I really don't even know what halfway is because I'm not from the U.S., right? I moved here about 10 years ago. So I'm going to use a different example, something I do know. Imagine I'm driving from Texas to Florida. Pretty simple. So I'm going to have to drive through Alabama, okay? Now, when I get to Alabama, I can check my GPS and it tells me where I am, right? How much time I have left. So what I love to do is the purpose really is the 20 to 30 year goal. You checking where you are today, you can start from five years ahead. Where do you need to be in 5 years? That helps you break it down into chunks, manageable chunks. Okay, so if I'm driving to Florida, some folks may be able to do it in one straight shot. 10 hours of driving? No, not me. So I had to make a stop, right? I plan my stop for Alabama. Oh, that allows me to plan for Alabama, knowing that I'm on my way to Florida. Same exact thing that I want you thinking about here. So the first question is, where do you need to be in 5 years? If you can plan for 5 years, guess what? Those 5 years that you're working and looking at, keeping in mind what 20 and 30 years look like, accomplishing that is 5 years closer to your goal. And in many cases may even accelerate your progression towards your 20 to 30 year plan or purpose. Now, that is why we have core gears. You expand some energy here and it multiplies here, right? So keep that in mind. Where do you need to be in 5 years? Okay. Hold on, let me take a sip of my tea here. Now, what I want you to do is you aligned your core gears. So you should have A1, A being a passion, mapping to 1, your number 1 purpose, okay? B1, B being a passion, mapping to your number 1 purpose, or number 3. So B3, purpose B, passion B, mapping to purpose 3, right? And if you look on the screen here, these dots, you see C3, C1, these are examples, okay? This lady over here, Tori, is a real life client, and here are some of her responses to the work that we did a while ago. And what I want you to imagine is that you have all your aligned purpose and core gears, and you have this little bullseye, and you're throwing them, okay? But you know where you're aiming, okay? So keep in mind, you knowing where you need to be at in 5 years, that's the ultimate goal. That is what is most important, okay? Question number 2, right? Placing your targets where you feel you are today. You have 3 ranges. You're either missing the target, which means you're doing a poor job. You're not even close, okay? Number 2 is you're making progress, right? You're not where you need to be, but you're doing a decent enough job. And 3, the bullseye is you are on target. Everything you're doing now is getting you where you need to be. For example, let me give you some examples so this makes sense. How could you be missing the target? Let's say you want to be an athlete and you have not trained a single day. You're missing the target. Number 2, how do you know you're making progress? Okay, you want to lose weight, or you want to be a business owner, an entrepreneur. You're making progress if you started your business, but you haven't sold business. You haven't sold work. You haven't made your first dollar, but you started the business. You've done the research. You know what people want, and you're on your way to giving them that. That is when you're making progress. When are you on target? An example, let's say you're a consultant. You've booked your first client. You're working. You've provided some kind of value. You've provided them a deliverable. You've met an expectation of theirs, and maybe they've given you a review, right? That is being on target. So pick your aligned core gears and place them on there, okay? Now, the next most important thing. We're going to look at missing the target and making progress for question number 3. What do you need to be doing? What do you need to begin doing to move your core gears closer to the center? So if you're in missing the target, don't go and get too excited and try and go from missing the target and being right on target. Go from missing the target to making progress, right? So if you wanted to be an athlete and you have not gone to the gym a single day, go to the gym at least 1 day out of the week. Pretty simple, right? Start that process. Now, when you feel like you feel you're making progress, you'll realize it will require you to set another goal. Maybe go to the gym twice a week. Now, that is the core of this. Now, when I say the plan of action, don't think this is one plan. So you're going to the gym once a week and that's that. No, right? Dwight Eisenhower said, plans are useless. Planning is everything. So you will continue to build on this plan. Missing the target, we're moving into making the target. Now, the next thing is making the target. So if you wanted to be an entrepreneur, business owner, you've started your business, but you're not selling work yet, right? Look to sell your first program. Look to sell the first project and move into on target. Okay? Very simple. Now, the next question here is, and just to touch on this, you may ask, well, what if I'm on target? You're on target. There's nothing else to do. You're on target. Keep doing what you're doing and strengthen that. You're on target. Okay? Why is this important? Okay. You may ask, why I'm asking that question? Why is it important? If you don't know why it's important for you to take a specific action, you will be taking that action in vain. And the moment pressure hits, the moment life gets rough, you will not stand true to that purpose and to that thing that you need to be doing. So it is crucial and it's very important that you know why you do what you do. Okay? Now, okay, well, I'm driving to Alabama. How do I know I have gotten to Alabama? My phone may say, hey, welcome to Alabama. Or I may look and see a sign that says, welcome to the state of Alabama. Awesome. Now, when will you know when you're successful? You need to have these notifications ready that tell you you are successful. You have been successful. You have done a great job at XYZ. Okay, so if, for example, you want to be a business owner, you are successful when you started your business and you've made your first buck. Write that as a goal. If you can see what I'm doing here. That is just a goal for that specific core gear, okay? And it will change, right? It needs to change because after making your first dollar, you want to make your first million, your first billion. It's up to you, right? What is important is that you take these steps and you begin to jump and dive into them, okay? Now, what we will be covering next week. This is I love this part of it. This is exciting stuff, right? You're looking to see your supporting roles, the things that you do that support you and the things that you should not be doing and the things you should continue to do, right? So we'll see you again next week or next course, not necessarily next week, next course. I'm excited for us to dive into your supporting roles, and I hope this is beneficial. Send me some feedback. I want you to give me some feedback on Facebook. Talk to your friends, share this. I'm excited to have you as a part of this community. If you have any questions, feel free to just write them in our discussion board. Just share them with me. Email me directly, peter@peterfyobo.com, peter@thepoweredlife.com. I have so many emails. Just reach out. All right. Hope you're having fun and see you in the next course.